Hi again, everyone. I'm olliemathews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Marcus. And before we get to the content of the video, please go to the description box below and click on the Rumble link to this video. I ask you please watch the Rumble version of this video as it helps with monetization and channel growth. I really get nothing out of YouTube. That being said, on to the channel, on to the content. So Marcus sends in a clip, a video from the unpopular channel stating, "Hey Ollie, love the channel, love the direction of the reaction videos. I feel really bad for the stepdad in this. Would love to get your reaction to it, Marcus." Okay. Here we go. Police rescue family from highly abusive mother. But of course they do.
So embarrassing. You know how teenagers are. They roll their eyes at you. Sure. I got upset with her.
She started hitting her daughter in the head and the face.
I saved
That's
this
nice.
house.
And then she told me that if you guys come, that I better back her up and then make up a story.
On May 23rd.
Girl power. Believe all women, though, right? Believe all women.
2023, officers responded to a residence following a report of a woman physically assaulting her boyfriend and daughter during an argument about unpaid rent and the living situation.
Hi. How you doing? Not too bad. Officer Prince, Pharmacy Police Department. Did you call?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What's going on? Hi. What's going on?
Okay.
Let me talk to you. I'll talk to you over here.
I got after my daughter for not changing her cat litter.
Okay.
But
I got after my daughter.
I am primarily the owner here of this house.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have caught up our home
Okay.
on rent because he wasn't properly paying.
Well, you're not the owner then. You're a renter. You're not an owner. You're a renter, like me. It's all right. Renting is fine, but you're not an owner.
And I had to talk to the owner.
Okay.
And I had to borrow the money from my mother.
Right.
Okay, even if that is true, what does that have to do with you beating up your 16-year-old daughter?
And
Is that okay? Can we step inside? Is that okay? So what's going on? Why did we get called? Do you know? Is it just you in here?
oh, and my daughter, because I got upset with her because he's always getting on my case
Right.
for not her changing her cat litter, for her being, I guess, too lenient on her.
Sure.
So I got upset with him, and I
Too lenient? You're punching her in the head and he thinks you're too lenient and he's the one who called the police?
guess I let
You
out
guys
water.
just get frustrated?
Yes,
Okay.
because I had to come up with over $1,000.
Got you. Are you guys in a relationship?
Okay, $2,000 at your age shouldn't be that difficult. It isn't even that much money. If you're in a co-relationship, like, I don't even know if this is true, what she's saying. I mean, the borderline narcissist will use any rationalization to excuse their abuse.
Okay. Who's
Just
he?
domestic.
Okay.
And I found out that he wasn't paying our rent.
Right.
So, and he lied to me. And I have text messages with the owner here
Again, none of this has anything to do with why you're beating up your daughter.
who was ready to evict us.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And he kept telling me he was paying it.
How
I'm
long
sorry,
have you guys,
emotional.
no, that's understandable. How long have you guys been together for?
3 years.
Okay.
And I let him take over the rent in December so I could take over the car payments.
Right.
And at the beginning of May, the owner came here. He was the one that told me that he was behind in rent.
Right.
I was so embarrassed.
Sure. So what happened today? So walk me through today.
I got frustrated with him and my daughter, and I know it's wrong.
Sure.
I told her not to quit her work. And he's always getting on my case for being lenient on my daughter.
How old is she?
She's only 16. I tried talking to her, and you know how teenagers are. They
So what kind of job could she have had at 16 that you're like going to beat her up for quitting? I mean, that's what 16-year-olds do.
roll their eyes at you. And I got upset with her. And then he gets on me for that.
Right.
And I was like, you're always getting upset with me for, I guess.
Well, which is it? Did he want you're too lenient, or he's upset because you're getting mad at you for rolling? Like, again, the narcissist can say diametrically opposed things right after one another and not think anything of it.
Pampering my children because I'm a doctor of public health and I work up here at CBI at 5.
This is a doctor of public health, drunk off her ass, beating up her daughter.
One apartment drive. I had to borrow the money from my children. I mean, from my parents, so we couldn't get evicted.
So you're a doctor of public health and couldn't come up with $2,000 on your own? It doesn't sound like you're making very good life decisions on your own by your own right.
And I told him, you don't know how embarrassing that is. And he won't even admit to me that he wasn't paying the rent.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
You tell me I'm getting on my daughter's case, but, you're
He wouldn't admit that he wasn't paying the rent, yet the rent wasn't paid, which would tell me there's a big hole in this story. There's a big, giant hole in this story.
taking my daughter's side. Then to come to find out,
They're taking my daughter's side. So here we have, let's back that up just a second.
you tell me I'm getting on my daughter's case, but, you're taking my daughter's side.
But you're taking my daughter's side. Again, her daughter, stepfather. Again, how many of you have dealt with this with your queen bee, with your borderline mother being accused of doing God knows what with your stepfather, being played favorites? Again, this is another borderline mother competing with her underage daughter. Another one.
Then to come to find out that he has a history with his ex-wife. In the Georgia, I guess there's charges of him. I guess he lost his parental rights. And also she tells me there's some sexual charges against him.
And up until this point, you didn't have a problem with that. Like, you just found this out 2 minutes ago. You just found this out 2 minutes ago. I find that hard to believe.
What happened, like, as far as, like, today? That's what I'm trying to figure out, I guess.
No, he got upset with me for getting on my daughter.
Okay. Did anything get physical between
No.
you and your daughter, or between you and him?
No.
Okay.
This is kind of been all the time in the movement.
Yeah.
She's canceled me several times, mostly when she gets drunk.
Yeah.
Mostly when she's drunk. So obviously she has a drinking problem.
She used to have a beard down here, and she pulled it out one day.
Okay.
She can do whatever to me, that's fine, but when she does
She pulled his beard off and threw it in the yard?
it to her daughter, I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
So her and her daughter got into it earlier, and she went through her daughter's room, stormed in, yelling and screaming.
Okay.
Calling her every name you could think of.
Yeah.
Of course they do. They love the name calling.
Turned around, and she started hitting her daughter in the head and the face. And that's when I told him, that's enough.
Yeah.
And then she started going at me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can discipline your kids, just not in that manner, like in the butt, maybe the arm, maybe.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a certain way to do it, and there's a certain way not to do it. And when she crossed that line, like yelling at her is one thing, but when she hits her in the face and the head, that's when I told her that's enough. And then, of course, she thinks I'm taking her daughter.
Even I'm not down with the yelling. I mean, but yeah, like there's a line. There's a limit. There's a limit. You're punching your daughter in the head. No.
Her side, so she started going at me.
Okay.
She thinks I'm taking her daughter's side. Like, this is what you have to deal with. You're dealing with a second teenager. You're dealing with a 45-year-old teenager here, or however old this mother is.
And I was eating, and she threw the plate of food in there, which is fine, but then she took, we have a case of dog food, like dog food,
Okay.
just picked it up and threw that at me too.
Okay.
It didn't
Throwing food and a case of dog food.
me hit me right here, it didn't do much, it's just...
Yeah, was what again? I'm sorry.
That's it. The cans of dog food, the wet cans of dog food,
Okay, gotcha.
the chunky stuff.
Yeah.
But we have a case of it, and she just picked up the whole case and threw it at me. With all
Okay.
the cans in it.
Are she intoxicated right now, or are you intoxicated? I can smell alcohol.
Yeah,
so
no, I've had 2 beers.
And that's wrong. It's your house. You can do your thing.
She's had it too.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. What's your first name, man?
My name's Charles.
So it started over argument over like picking up cat poop or something like that, you said?
It was, it's not just that. So my daughter told her earlier that she was going to put her 2 weeks in. She was going back. She
Okay.
was 16. And her mom disagreed with it. And they started arguing a little bit in the kitchen.
So the daughter wasn't even just kids. She was going to do it right, put in her 2 weeks, probably find another job. Outback at 16, that's probably a shitty job.
Then Tara and I went to go get some food safely right here.
Okay.
Came back. That's when she stormed her daughter's room, and she texted her when we were still out and said, if you're not going to
Taryn must be the daughter.
work, then you can't take the vehicles out if you need to or whatever, and stuff like that. Well, she just, I don't know, got in her head and started getting more upset at her daughter about it. And by the time we got back, she stormed her room. And they started going at it, arguing, and then it started yelling, and then, of course, cussing. And I knew it started getting bad when she started calling her daughter.
Okay.
And that's when I went in.
That's it. I mean, what is it with the boomer mothers? Just love calling their their daughters bitches, calling their daughters cunts. They love it. They love it because they hate them. They hate their daughters.
I said, hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
How can we help today?
I guess for him not to be, I don't know. But see,
Yeah, I saw that already. Okay.
and the owner
Still trying to get him in trouble. Still trying to get her husband in trouble.
of this house was ready to evict us.
Yes, ma'am.
And I had to actually borrow $8,000 from my parents.
Okay.
The reason all this started is
$1,000? I thought it was $2,000. Now it's $1,000.
because I work at Outback, and I was telling them that I wanted to quit my job. And she didn't like that, and like both of them, they basically told me like wherever I work, I basically have to like deal with like, I guess, mean coworkers and whatever. So then
Which is true. I mean, she's 16. She's figuring shit out. It ain't the end of the world. I'm surprised she's even working at Outback at 16.
happened, and then they left to go get like food to cook from Safeway, and then they came back. And my mom sent me a text, and it was like, FYI, like if you don't have a job, then you're not going to use a car, you're not going to have a social life, and you can just stay home. And so I just said, oh.
Just more bullying. I mean, just more bullying. Like it's the end of the world. That's like she was never going to go get another job again. And she hadn't even quit the job yet. She was going to put in her 2 weeks first. But nope. See, this is the shit my father would do to me. This is the shit, the torturous fucking bullshit my father would do to me. Just for the sake of it. Just so you don't get a fucking moment's peace in your own goddamn childhood and your teenage years. You got to be miserable at 16. You have, like, I understand there's no great job at 16. There's barely any great job when you're older. But Jesus, let her learn the fucking ropes. Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. Like, Like, I told the story when I was working for ShopRite and the union went on strike. Like, and my father acted like it was my decision. Like it was my decision. Like it was my call to put the entire company out on strike. It was unbelievable. That's what they act like.
Okay, with a question mark, and then she came in my room and then started yelling at me about the cat litter that I haven't changed in my room. And so I just said, like, I know. And then she started yelling about some other stuff. And so I just said, I know. Like, I raised my voice at her. And, like, when I get, like, yelled at, I get, like, overwhelmed and I yell back. And so, like, then we just kept yelling at each other. And then she hit me because I told her, I know. And then she hit me, like, on the head. And then the second time she hit me in the face.
How did she do that? Can you just describe it?
I was laying on my bed. And so, like, I was, like, I had my blanket over my face, and then she hit me over the head. And then the second time she grabbed the blanket and then hit me in the face. And so I, like, got up and...
See, and that's not discipline. That's beating somebody up because you're mad at them and you don't like them and you want to cause physical harm. They physically try to harm you.
I moved, like, up against my wall. He told her to, like, stop because she's also done that to him. And then they were arguing, and then he came in my room because she threw dog food at him or something. And, like, basically left the door. And she was, like, telling me that this is all my fault. And, like, she said, what do you expect?
This is all your fault. Like, every time my parents got into a fight, I had to hear it was they were fighting over me. It was my fault.
The outcome to be, and then she told me that I better take her side or I'm being sent away.
So what did she mean by that?
You better take my side or I'm being sent away or you're gonna send you away.
Well, because before there was an incident between her and my grandma, and so it was when I was younger, and they had an argument, and then I was just kind of there, and so they took me to like the little home over here, whatever, and I was there for like 5 days. So that's what she meant by that.
Okay, did she mean like when you talked to the police, like, or like?
So she's been taken away from the mother for violence before, it appears, because she got into a fist fight with her mother.
Anybody that was involved, like, take her side, I guess?
She meant, like, if I was talking to you, I better take her side. And then, like, even with the rent, she told him, like, because we tell each other everything, like, me and my mom, and she told me he wasn't paying rent. And I just, like, that's none of my business, and I feel like I'm too young to be knowing about this kind of stuff. Yeah. So I just told her, like, it's none of my business. And even just now, she told me I better take her side.
Like, inside here?
Yeah.
Like, as I walked out to the...
You better take the borderline side, or else you better take the borderline side. Don't ever believe when they say that borderline tells you I'm sick, I can't control it, it's not my fault. It is my fault because they can knowingly try to convince other people to lie for them, to protect a lie, to get somebody else in trouble falsely. That's not something you have zero control over. That's something you're doing purposefully for your own benefit.
Okay. Whenever you were hit, I know it's a silly question, but was it unwanted? Did you want to be hit,
No.
or anything like that? And how was she acting whenever she was hitting you? Was she happy, sad, angry?
She was angry.
Okay, and then do you remember if it was open hand or closed hand?
I don't know, because, like, it wasn't my eyes.
Okay, and then she hit in the back of the head once, then you covered up with the blanket, and then she ripped the blanket off, and then what happened again?
She hit me in the face.
Okay, and then it was open hand?
Rip the blanket off so she could get a better shot. That's how my mother went when she got violent.
at that point? Okay. Do you remember if it was her right or left hand?
Right.
Okay. And then did anything get physical between them that you saw of?
No.
Okay.
I just know she was throwing stuff at him.
Okay. And then did you ever hit her or anything like that during the process? Or just the yelling back and
I
forth?
just kind of put my hands up like, stop.
Okay. And then you were in the wall, you said, and then what happened then?
And then he came in and told her, like, to stop. And then, like, said, like, I know you're upset, but, like, calm down. Like, just, like, let her cool off. And then he came in and told me, because she was still yelling about the cat litter. And then he came in and told me to just change the cat litter and then calm myself down. And then,
Okay.
And what else did she throw at you?
Just a paper plate for vehicles.
Gotcha. Did you change or before?
No, she just knocked it out. I mean, I can show you the counters and stuff. And
Knocked it over.
that's probably what she was doing.
Gotcha.
That's not big.
Yeah.
We're not worried about her getting it. That's not why I called you.
Well, that's illegal. Battering a household member, that's illegal. So obviously, even if you don't want to press charges, it's not up to you. It's up to us to determine that, you know.
We
So
can look to you, but
yeah.
you know, I know she picked up the cans of dog food because while we were waiting on you, she went and fed the dog. So she uses the cans of dog food. So I'm sure she picked it up. The truth is I have no proof of that she did it, but I'm sure she probably heard it.
There's 3 sides to every story, right? So I gotta advise you of your Miranda rights just so that way you understand that
Yeah.
your rights and everything like that, okay?
Yeah, and I just want to say too, like Chaz has really been dishonest, and he keeps swearing up and down that he has been in communication with our landlord, the owner of this house, and even our owner has told us that he has not even collected rent from him.
Okay. So let me ask you some questions that are not related specifically to that. So like I said, I'm going to advise you of your Miranda rights just so that way you
Am I
understand.
getting arrested?
I'm just advising of your Miranda rights so that way I don't violate your rights by asking you the questions, okay?
Okay.
So you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand your Miranda rights?
Sorry, you're saying you're arresting me.
No, I'm advising you of your Miranda rights. It's by law. If I ask you any questions...
But they always say that before they
Sure,
arrest me.
I did the same thing out there, and that's why I've got to ask certain questions. And in order for me to do that to where I'm not violating your rights, I have to advise you of that.
Yeah, and I'm saying if you're going to arrest me, I do not want him left with my daughter because his ex-wife from Georgia sent me some court papers
Right.
of him losing his rights to his children.
More specifically,
How wonderful these women all work together.
right now, I'm asking if you understand your Miranda rights that I just read to you. You do? Okay, so you guys go to Safeway, and then you come back, correct?
Yeah.
And then what happens whenever you come back inside?
I came and I talked to her about changing her cat litter.
Your daughter? Okay.
And she didn't want to change her cat litter, so I told her you need to change your cat litter. He was in here the whole time.
Okay.
So whatever he's saying he witnessed, he never witnessed
Yes, ma'am.
because he was in here making fajitas.
Right.
But the only reason I came to her to address that the cat and the cat litter was because he wanted me to.
Okay. And then,
And
so
he
did you talk to
said
her
that.
about the cat litter, and then what happened?
Then she said, "Okay, Mom." So I walked out and I was in the room.
Okay.
And I just feel that-
Miss Yadlin, did anything get physical with you and your daughter in her room?
No.
Did you ever put your hands on her in any way?
No.
And there's no reasons why there would be any redness
No,
on-
because she's taller than me. So
That doesn't.
she
I mean, that's. I
she
understand.
could easily
What I'm saying is
knock
like
me
that
back.
you never got like you never put your hands on her at all. She covered up with a blanket or anything like that.
I would not do that to
Okay.
her, and I don't know. I saved this house.
Right. I understand all of that.
Again,
makes a
it
lot of
has
sense.
nothing to that has not even if it's true, it has nothing to do with you beating up your daughter. Nothing.
Frustration level, I totally get that. But what I'm asking you is, when you went into your daughter's room after you got back here, did you
No.
get into an argument back and forth with her and then put your hands on her?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever hit her in the back of the head or hit her in the face or anything like that?
No, she just freely gave me her phone, and then I went in the room and I closed the door, and I heard him talking on the phone, and I don't know if he's upset with me too because I had a.
And then she'll put on this performance. No, I didn't touch her, didn't do anything. And tell the daughter, you better back me up. You better take my side. This is the level these women will go through.
Former employee at Let's Go, and I let him take my extra vehicle.
Okay.
But the utilities are in my name.
No, I totally get that. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to figure out like why these statements are being made that you're hitting your daughter. Even if it was an accidental thing, maybe.
No, I would not do that.
Because I mean, she's got redness on her face and on the back of her head. Why would that be there?
That's her husband, right? He said the
No,
same
we're
thing.
not married.
All right. He was telling me the same thing.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out from
But
you.
then you guys need to do a background check on him because if you guys take me in, I don't want him here with her because I just recently found out too.
So, and we do all of that stuff. You don't have any like injuries or anything like that on you?
No.
Okay. Do you want to turn around, just make sure there's nothing on the backside? You want to put your hands behind your back for me? And then just relax your arms.
So does he get to stay here?
How long have you guys been in a relationship?
His house.
Are those
I
your
think.
keys?
No, those are not
Do
mine.
you have anything you want to take with you right now?
No.
Okay. All right, we're just going to walk out this direction.
And I don't want my daughter here with him.
Okay. Wait, my partner's going to stay here until he can confirm some things, and then after that, then we'll move back. All right, we're just going to walk right this direction.
And please contact the owner because I was the one that paid the rent.
We're gonna go to
It
the right.
doesn't
Sorry, get your
matter.
ID one more time.
It doesn't
Appreciate it.
matter.
I'm just gonna run you through. I know you watch her sometimes, and but we got to just because you said that she's not a kid. I got to call statewide intake. Just make sure you're clear. And that's like every case we do. We always do this. So
No, you're fine. You're fine. I know what she told you. It's okay. I was living there, so all that happens.
My concern is what's going to happen to my daughter.
My partner's going to do some research, and then if
You weren't concerned up until this moment. Until you started beating on your daughter and told her to lie about it for you, you weren't all that concerned.
for whatever reason, if there's anything with him in the system, then from there, he'll take your daughter and figure out where we need to take her. Other than that, since you guys are in a relationship and she's 16, if he's not flagged in any way, then she'll stay here with him.
I don't want him to stay.
Okay, and then I'll talk with my partner before we do anything, okay?
Yeah, because, I mean, I can show you text messages.
It doesn't. They can't let it go. She thinks she has something on him on text message that validates her to do whatever she wants to him.
I got you.
And how long will I be held? Because, you know, I don't want to lose.
It's just it's a 24-hour hold because of the domestic violence side of it, but then from there you'll be able to get released.
And will I have a record?
It'll show that you were placed in jail. Okay. Do you have anything you can just face? Or do you have anything in your pockets? You can just face the car for you.
Why am I being arrested and he's the one? So we be both arrested.
Well, right now you're being placed under arrest for just during the investigation, everything that I gathered. Okay. You know what I mean?
What about him too? He was just as involved as I was.
Based off of my investigation here.
For what? He didn't touch anybody. You weren't even there by your own admission. What do you want him arrested for?
The only one that they're arresting right now. Okay. You want to walk right over here to the side?
And that's not fair.
Well,
that's not fair. That's not fair.
And I don't. If you look at my
right back this way.
history, I don't have no domestic violence.
This way. Go ahead and have a seat.
Officer, this is not fair.
Just grab a seat for me, please.
What is she talking about? Like, she's worried about you. Your daughter staying here?
So I was previously married, had 2 kids with my ex-wife.
Yeah.
And when I left my ex-wife because of situations, she got mad. And then my daughter was 4 at the time. And I had a daughter and a son that was 2. And my daughter said something out of context about a flower that I would put in her ear. And then the person that ran the daycare said something to my ex-wife, which she was already upset at me for divorcing her.
Of course.
So it became some big thing, and they accused me of touching my daughter inappropriately.
How long was it?
Oh, it was years ago, probably close to 10 years ago.
Okay.
8, 9, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so the detective contacted me and served me, and we had the whole, interview and everything. And he told me when he pulled me over, when he was trying to serve me, that he's like, I talked to your daughter. He's like, if I thought you had done it, I would arrest you now, but I don't think you did it. So the whole investigation happened and everything, and I was proven innocent thereon. And,
and then his wife is now still sending paperwork around that he did it. Because if he did it, he would have been arrested. He'd have a criminal record. And I'm sure if he actually had done it, he wouldn't go 10 years without doing it again. But yet these women can go around and they can ruin your life and keep doing it over and over again on lies. And they're usually allowed to just get away with it.
My ex-wife still took custody of my kids because her mother was a divorce attorney and family law attorney. So she had, and this is Georgia, so she ended up taking me to court, and I didn't have the money for it, so I ended up losing my kids.
Yeah. She said second time?
Yeah.
And so this right here on the right, or on your left side?
That's how easy it is to lose your kid. I mean, that's how your mother's a divorce attorney. They don't give a shit anyway. You don't have the money. You don't have the money to fight it in court. You're screwed. You're screwed. If one does and the other one doesn't, you're screwed. Especially if you're the man. If you're the female, the man has to pay.
Where did you get hit? I'm sorry.
Like right here.
Okay, and then on the back of your head, you said that there as well? Okay, I just need to get an overall picture of you, so you stand right there. And then to the back of your head. What's his name, Charles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who is he to you? Okay, and do you feel safe with him here? Okay, because your mom was making comments that, I don't know, I'm not sure.
I know she told me about that, and he's never done anything to me, and I know she showed me the court documents, but the court documents say something completely different, and then she told me that
the court documents say something completely different. So the mother is just trying to get this guy, ruin this guy's life for a while now.
if you guys come, that I better back her up and then make up a story. So that's what she told me.
Okay, and then she mentioned that even right after I left too.
You better lie for the borderline. The borderline demands you lie for her. Demands you lie for her.
Is that what you told me? Okay. All right, so for today, she's going to go to jail. Okay. And that's not your fault, obviously. That's her actions. Would you just...
This is like, look at this girl. I feel terrible for this girl. And these cops got to keep telling these kids it's not your fault that your fucking mother is a drunken borderline asshole. It's not your call. It's my call.
Mind showing me where this all took place? It was your room, is that correct? Okay. Let me just grab a quick picture of the front of the house real quick, and I'll be right back.
All right, I don't see any information under that name. Do we have a child's name that I could potentially run?
Yeah, what's her first name? So,
Hers?
yeah.
Kimura.
Kimura?
All right, it doesn't look like I have any information under his name or the child's name.
Perfect. Okay. All right, I think that's all I needed. I appreciate it, man, being cooperative.
So father's clean. Father's clean, mother's lying, ex-wife is lying. You know, this is... I'm telling you, when these women are out there screaming about the patriarchy and believe all women and like this, watch these videos. They can stand there and they could lie with a straight face. They could have their friends lying for them. They could demand their kids lie for them. And then they'll stand there in front of the authorities, try to put on the waterworks, and try to lie with a straight face.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine.
There you go, man.
So basically, the packet that we're talking about is it's called the domestic violence packet, but it has a restraining order information and things like that in there. Also, some resources not only for you but for Kimura. Basically, to try to help throughout this whole process. Most of the time, what we normally see is people can resolve it in house, but this is only going to get worse. And so we normally try to say hey, if you guys can need to separate, and then the packet's kind of there to create a hard line.
I told him this has gotten worse. That's not the first time she's put hands on me. Actually, I had a beard. She pulled it out.
Oh my gosh.
Physically pulled it out.
Right.
Physically pulled his beard out.
I had to there's still some here. But she took this whole thing. Okay. That's why you can. Okay. She took this and she was standing here, and I was standing right there. Okay. And she just threw the whole thing out.
Got you. And were these dented up like this before? Did she throw this entire thing?
Yeah, she just picked up the whole thing and threw it. So I walked in. And Kimura was sitting over there on the floor. So I just stood in front of her like this and dialed that one.
Okay. And then what happened at that once?
When I was on the phone, she was sitting there at the door yelling and screaming, banging on the door. And then she's like, you need to get out of the room with my daughter and blah, blah, blah. And, it's inappropriate. And
sure.
Blah, blah, blah. And actually, I think the 911 operator kind of heard some of that.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Cool. We can head back up. All right, well, thank you. Someone, did my partner get your phone number? Is it the one that you called dispatch with?
My information. Yes,
okay. So he'll be back with that packet here in a few minutes, and then when she gets out, prior to being released, someone will call you. Okay. If you don't answer, then police will show up and make sure that you're aware that she's getting, it's called, it's just a domestic violence release. So that'll go along with that, okay? All right. Bye, kitty cat. And then do you need paramedics or anything like that? I don't know if anybody ever asked. Do you need paramedics? No. Okay. Well, I hope y'all's make it better, okay? Thank you. Yes, sir. Come on out. Watch your step. Then she'll have a purse and other belongings. I'll bring that in here in just a minute. Thank you.
The woman was charged with aggravated battery against a household member and abuse of a child.
I feel bad for the stepfather. I mean, he's got to make better decisions in the women's he chooses, obviously, because he just keeps choosing borderline personality disordered sociopathic women. But the lesson here, boys and girls, the borderline will demand you lie for them. They'll assault you and then demand you lie for them when the cops come. I mean, that's really where we're at. All her stories, I don't believe the Rent story either, based on what the daughter's saying about the molestation, about the ex-wife and the papers. She said, I looked at the court paperwork. It doesn't say what the mother says it says. Because they just lie and they create their false reality, and then demand you back it up. So, thank you, Marcus, for the contribution and the clip. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. Follow me on X and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.